Aloha, everyone, in another level living land. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Freedom Fridays. So happy that you're here because we're in store for an amazing treat and an awesome special guest. And we are talking about all things leadership. So, first of all, let me just share with you before I introduce our special guest today. What is the purpose of this show? The purpose of the Freedom Friday show is to support you as an entrepreneur in achieving your success in business and life harmony. We never want to get so busy making a living that we forget to make a life. And it is 100% possible to work smarter, not harder, stress less, strengthen your relationships, and lead with much more energy, ease, and momentum so that you can create peace on all sides and increase your confidence, your calm, and your cash flow. And one of the things to make sure that you do before after this conversation is go to anotherlevelliving.com/harmony and get your 7 secrets towards more business and life harmony. Now stay tuned because we also have another amazing free gift for you today. So I want you all to give a warm welcome to our special guest, Joann Bellenkes. Joann, thank you so much for being here with us today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you, Heather.
I'm so excited to be able to hear the amazing wisdom that you have to share with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what we're talking about today. We are talking about building your inner foundation of self confidence because, as a leader, it's important to have the confidence in yourself so that you're able to confidently make decisions quickly, effectively, and without worry of what other people think. Like, I love unapologetically and just like the other word that's coming is like unstoppable, right? Enjoying that inner confidence. So Joann, she has spent more than 2 decades in the corporate world. She was both as a director of training and development and also the COO, Chief Operating Officer. And Joann now spends her time as a certified executive and leadership coach, working with newly promoted managers up to the C-suite, enabling them to lead with authenticity, self-assurance, and confidence so that they can have the impact as a leader that they're meant to be. Joann, thank you so much. And I'm so loving that you do this work. This is just so exciting. The first question I have for you is, can you share with us why is this topic and this message, something that's so important for us?
Absolutely. Well, while it's important to leadership, of course, it's really important for everybody. And I came to this realization kind of late in my career. And it's through my own experience that I realized how important it is to kind of get the word out to leaders. Because many times, despite all of our achievements, inside we still have that feeling. Some people call it imposter syndrome, but it doesn't even have to be as deep as that. It's just that questioning ourselves. It's that lack of confidence and feeling that, what are people thinking about me? Do I really know what I'm talking about? What are people saying after I walk away from a conversation or a meeting or a presentation? And as a leader, you can't have that. In order to have your team believe in you and want to respect you and do what it is that you need them to do, they need to be able to not question you. And how can they not question you if you're questioning yourself?
Oh,
So that
so
confidence needs
good.
to come from within.
Yes. Oh, I love that. I mean, it's so true and essential. So one of the things that we can resist in entrepreneurship is the fact that we are a leader. We're leading ourselves, we're leading our teams, we're leading our families. There's just this leading. And either we can hear the call for leadership or we can continue to endure the pain fighting against it. So I'm so glad that you're talking about this because you're right. It is an inside job. And a lot of times we can get so caught up with other people think or that worry or uncertainty. And that can lead to all kind of things, I'm sure. Well, tell us, what is it? What can we do about this? And you can even channel on more of what I just said, but what are some of the things that we can be able to do to actually strengthen that inner confidence?
Well, some of the things to know is you need to realize, first of all, that you're doing this to yourself. Sometimes we do it and we don't even realize. Again, like I said, it took me years to figure this out. I didn't realize it until I got to a point where it affected my health, because that lack of confidence did something else. Another thing that was a detriment to me, and that is that because I was so worried about my appearance in terms of how I appeared to my managers, to my team, I felt like I always had to say yes to things, even when I was overloaded, even when I may not necessarily have known all the answers or known where to go for the answers. But because I didn't have the confidence in myself to say, I don't know, I need help, my plate is full, I took on to the point where, again, I found myself working 7 days a week, 14, 15, 18 hours a day. And I remember one evening I was working on, just doing my usual thing. And I glanced up from my computer and everybody was gone. Everybody had left for the day hours before. And yet here I was still toiling away, trying just to catch up on that hamster wheel because I didn't want to appear that I wasn't competent. And all of that came from my lack of confidence.
Wow, I so appreciate you sharing that story. For those of you who are listening, think about how even like a lot of times when we share our story, we can feel those pieces of us of in it so well, right? So if you resonate with some of the things that she said, where it's like all this consuming, working, taking on, she's showing us and sharing with us ways on how to be able to shift that. And that is something that's so profound and so needed. So we really appreciate and honor your story. And I love that it's like also this beautiful testament of the power of work that you do now, you know?
Well, I think the best coaches are the ones who've already lived through what their clients are going through. So they're at least one step ahead, hopefully more than one step ahead. But for me, I can take my client's hand and walk along with them and say, okay, here, whoop, let's get away from this little, you know, pitfall and let's walk around here. And that's really what a good coach can do. So that to be able to say that I've been in their shoes, I've been there, but I know how to get you out. I know how to get you where you need to be and where you want to go. That's really what fires me up and gives me the greatest joy right now.
Oh, so awesome. Well, tell us what are some of the things you mentioned awareness, like all change starts with awareness. What are some other amazing tips or strategies that we can be able to implement to start moving this needle forward a little bit to more self-confidence?
And it's all really very simple. It's not like invented this, but I just got that aha moment. That's what I share. Number one is that, again, instead of looking for those externals to help us build confidence, and many people build it in different ways. They go to self-help books, or they just look for the affirmations of their team or of their boss to make them feel valued. And really, again, it needs to come from within. So one of the main things that I talk to my leaders about, a couple of things, but number one is, and for some people, this may sound a little woo-woo,
Okay.
and I'm not woo-woo, but I have done it. I believe in it, and my clients do it now, and they all report to me all the time how they love it. But you need to look at yourself in the mirror
Okay.
and do this. Just try it for 30 days, okay? In the morning when you're brushing your teeth or washing your face and putting on your makeup, and then in the evening. And it can be a brain dump, and hopefully you do it alone so no one thinks but you look in the mirror and just whatever comes to your mind. I'm smart. I'm good. I'm a great leader. I know what I'm talking about. I believe in myself. All of these positive things, but you've got to look at yourself in the mirror. And it is a little awkward at first. And some people kind of push back on it and wonder, well, what does that do? Well, I'm not a neuroscientist, but the neurons in the brain, what you put in here comes out to the world. So
Nice.
you need to change your thoughts from, yeah, I'm not sure I know what I'm doing. Gosh, I'm not really sure if I'm up to this. No, I can do this. This day is mine to win.
Yes.
And things like that. And whatever comes to your head, it doesn't have to be anything certain. If you do that twice a day for 30 days, now you will have done that 60 times. Now, it takes only 21 times to actually form a habit. You will have done that threefold. I dare you to tell me that after 60 days, if you do this 30 days, you do it twice a day, that you don't feel differently,
Awesome. Yes, I
because you
love that.
will.
Oh, that's so good. Okay, so challenge on for everyone who's listening. Make sure the first thing when it will also connect with Joann, and then also go ahead and do this exercise and see, let her know how it worked for you when you talk with her. Oh, so
And,
good.
and again, it will feel weird. I don't even like looking at myself in the mirror. And a lot of my clients say that too. But it's important that you do. You've got to look at yourself in the eyes and you're talking to yourself in the present tense. I've got this. I say that to my clients all the time. You've got this because you do. If you believe in yourself, there isn't anything that you can't do with some support, with some help, with some knowledge, but your only stopgap is yourself and your mind and what you put in here. So you've
Yeah.
got to change those thoughts.
Oh, that's
So that
so
that's my first suggestion.
Oh, that's wonderful. Because we here at Another Level Living, we talk about leaning in, letting go, and leaping forward, and also reclaiming the power of the mind. So, this activity that you shared is so powerful because it'll start to override any of the negative thoughts. So, therefore, it becomes more positive, and then your brain will shift to that. So, it's so
Yes.
beautiful and profound. Okay, we have time for one more. What's another really good a strategy or tip that you can be able to share with us that can also help us move the needle forward, if you don't mind?
So another thing that I have all my clients do is put together a confidence journal. And it's a very simple thing to do. But a lot of times when, especially in leadership, when you're in the battle of the day and you're going through your day and you can't see the forest for the trees, and time goes on and time goes on. And what I do with my clients is remind them and have them remind themselves of all of the really good decisions that they made. Because when we're not confident, we're not sure of the decisions that we make. Sometimes that makes us not make a decision at all, which is not good, or we delay or we look for
Right?
others, right?
Or procrastinate or all kicking
Exactly.
in.
Exactly. But if you remind yourself and you go through the day, and maybe you do this at the end of the day, of the decisions that you had to make, and then your rationale for the decision that you made, whatever that decision was, and then what was the outcome? Did it work? Did it not work? And you will find more times than not, the decision you made was a good one. And that's going to help you build your confidence. But the ones that didn't work out so well, now you'll see them, you can learn from them, and you learn from them rather than beat yourself up and say, yeah, well, I made that decision. That was a loser. No, what did I learn from this? And all of this can be turned into a positive and help build your confidence. And those journals are something that you write pen to paper, old school way, so that you can refer back to it time and again and remind yourself of all the great things you've done, all how far you've come. And it really does help build your confidence.
Wow, Joanne, that is so amazing. I've never heard of a confidence journal, and even your description of it, and I can see how powerful it is to even be able to go back and look over time. How and probably you'll even notice, I'm sure your clients may have even noticed how their confidence in their decision making has increased over time as well. Oh, so good. Ladies and gentlemen, like let us know which one of these two or even three tips that she shared with us really spoke most to you. And in the comments below. So we want to hear from you and your wisdom as well. Joanne, tell us what would be based on everything that you shared with us, what would be like the biggest takeaway that you want to leave us with today?
I think it's really important to believe in yourself and not worry about what other people think in order for you to be a confident person, because you could be best friends with somebody and some one little thing could happen and they that relationship disappears or crumbles or turns negative. So does that mean that now that person is saying bad things about you and you're going to believe what they say? You've got to believe in yourself. And when you do, nothing can break you, nothing can shake you. And
Oh,
that's why I say that inner foundation. If you have that, then nothing can stop you. It
oh,
doesn't matter what happens from the outside world because you've got it all inside.
yes. And what you described, that's like total empowerment. That's total leadership. Thank you so much for being able to share with us today your wisdom and this message. And one of the things, like, how can we continue this journey with you? Do you have a free gift for us? How can we find you? So therefore we can continue this journey.
I do have a gift. It's a guide. It's called Five Keys to Thriving in Your Leadership Role. So you just need to click on a link and you will have it. It'll get sent to you. You can
Perfect.
also contact me. Go to my website, sidecarcoaching.com, and set up a complimentary consultation with me as well.
Nice. Awesome. Well, we'll make sure that we put both of those links in the show notes below. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go ahead and start your challenge because we got an awesome challenge based on what she shared with us. Start taking actions on these amazing tips that she shared. Go ahead and click on the links that are in the show notes. So, therefore, you can take advantage and get your Joann's free gift, as well as schedule some time with her. And also make sure you put your comments and your biggest takeaway in the comments below. And that sharing is caring. So if you were inspired by this video and this message and this episode, which I'm sure that you are, because I know I am, then make sure you share this out with the world and give someone else the gift of self-confidence. Joann, thank you so much for blessing us with your time today. This has been absolutely amazing. We really appreciate you for blessing us with it.
Thank you. It was a pleasure, Heather, as always.
Thank you. And everyone in Another Level Living Land, let this message marinate throughout your mind, body, and soul all weekend and beyond. And we look forward to seeing you again next week for another episode of Freedom Fridays. Bye, everyone.